From 2020, 2016. Oh. Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to react to Ben Shapiro, and the thing is, this guy has been recommended to us by you guys, and I don't know anything about him, but I know that people have told me that he is kind of a right winger and who supports, who is against all these feminists and all these people. So I thought this is very interesting to see, of course, because when you are against the feminists, because nowadays we have seen feminists are coming with very different logic and very stupid logics, like this should be happening and this should be happening. Like, firstly it was just because you should give rights to women and this should happen with women and we should think about betterment of women, but now it is just okay, you should not even decide the gender of the child, and all these stupid things are coming into the foray. I think so this will be a very interesting video to watch, and I will be very excited to watch it.
Yes, these kind of videos are really exciting, and I've even heard about even read about Ben Shapiro, that at a very young age he came into this field at the age of 17, and even he is a writer. He wrote something 11 books also, so he is into this from very young age, and now we're going to watch how he is going to against feminism. Like, if people, if they speak against women or something against feminism even a little bit, they are banned. They are seriously, how can you say this, some people are really like this, that no, they support feminism a lot. So I'm just not saying that okay, you should not have an opinion, but you should be rational, not kind of partial. So yes, let's see that what Ben Shapiro has to say to that.
Yeah, I'm also very excited to watch this video, so let's start.
And so, Ben, I read your article today, and I was shocked by the language you used. You were saying that it's time for the right to fight. Yeah. No,
she's shouting in my ears.
Evidence, evidence, evidence. All this is screaming and feelings. How about a shred of evidence, even for the incidents that actually happened in Missouri that drove this? Really? Where was the police report exactly when it came to, for example, the first N-word incident that led all of this? There was no police report on any of that. In the second incident, at the N-word at the University of Missouri, the administration investigated, and the kid's under investigation. In the third incident with the cop car,
I'm someone that believes that certainly the unborn child has rights. I believe that the mother has rights. I simply happen to be a person, and some believe that those mothers' rights deem to usurp those rights. But certainly it's not to disrespect.
It's not to disrespect. Would any of my rights allow me to kill another human being? There's only one thing that can make me say or do anything pro-Trump, and that is all of the precious snowflakes who find it so offensive that people write chalk messages on the ground. They have to whine and cry about it on a national level. So, in the name of free speech.
Oh, what will you do, man? From 2020, 2016. Oh.
How can you argue that racism is not a driving factor in income inequality?
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't, you know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high. Explain, if it has nothing to do with culture, explain to me why the single motherhood rate in the black community jumped from 20% to 70% in the same course of time that the civil rights movement has made such tremendous strides. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? And if it is, please explain to me how that happened.
They have no answers, and he talks very fast.
He have made them speechless.
Again, I ask you, Buddy Romer gave you $4 million to start TYT. What did he expect in return? Should he not have given you money? Was the money not speech? It was just money, after all. It's just like a hooker, I assume. So are you the prostitute? How did this work?
Health insurance is an earned benefit. It's not given for free to employees. They earn it. Should your employer be able to decide how you spend your money?
It is, hold on. One second. Earned from whom? Okay, I may think that I earn twice the salary that I get from this radio station. That doesn't mean that I have an earned benefit from the radio station for twice what they're willing to pay me. It's always a consensual relationship.
You pay for your health care.
Well, first of all, I do because it was negotiated in the contract that I signed, in which I voluntarily engaged.
I signed.
And if I don't like that, I can quit tomorrow.
No, nice.
And then he drinks the
Actual
water.
acts of racism. How about singling out racism and then actually doing something about it, as opposed to doing this kind of Marxist newspeak in which we go through everybody's hidden actions. You know, I'm sensing a real sort of underlying, I don't know, racial bias to this whole segment. Robert, I find you to be racially biased. I find you to be insensitive, bigoted, and misogynist based on everything that you said. It may be hidden. Maybe I can't detect it, but we all know it's there. So perhaps you should go through this program. At the end of the program, you will feel free, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll feel more informed because
Roasted.
Some people don't have the privilege when you basically just said that trans people aren't valid. They're not a thing. They're just girls pretending to be boys or boys pretending to be girls.
Okay. Oh, someone's excited. Okay.
Boys pretending to be girls.
Completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So,
It's not completely disconnected, but it's still a cultural thing. It's still from society.
okay, no, it is not in the mind. Okay, you're not a man if you think you're a man. And I didn't say pretending, or if I did, I shouldn't have said pretending. Let me amend.
You said playing.
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl or a girl who thinks he's a boy, which is technically what we're talking about here. As far as the actual psychological issues at play, it used to be called gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder. Now they call it gender dysphoria. The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be.
Oh.
You're still a human being, and you're a human being with an issue that I wish you Godspeed in dealing with in whatever way you see fit. But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no.
No.
My answer is no. I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Oh.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should like not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place. They can't just like.
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
That's not written though. Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts.
She has where it is written. He's like in the name Boy Scout. Woo!
Because this is a very because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl.
Yeah.
Boy did not mean girl.
17 though, like people are very much into this culture.
And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true. Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
You say you're a cat. It's not a thing. It's genders. It's not saying you're.
Okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I won't ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are. Okay, because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22, so I'm probably young and naive, right?
No. Why aren't you 60?
What?
Why aren't you 60?
Because it.
She was stunned.
In the audience, Shagun Oduolowu, entertainment journalist, Zoe Tur, pilot and reporter who herself is transgender, and Ben
she's a
Shapiro,
transgender.
senior editor, Breitbart News, author of Bullies. Ben, does she deserve this award?
For what?
For courageously coming forward, for having been an athlete of great prowess, and now fighting a new battle.
What exactly is the battle? I mean, self-definition is what you do, and my baby's doing it 18 months old. I wasn't aware that you get a medal for it.
To come out transgender is horribly difficult. It is the most
Kathleen
difficult
Jenner
thing
is
you
a
can do.
transgender, so
I've
she
been
ended up
overseas,
doing
I've flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions, I've been shot, stabbed. Being brave is being yourself, and being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do.
What?
Did she deserve the award? Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Bruce Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's
that's
her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that
Wow.
every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male, with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that
You have
his
a
brain
doctor
structure
here.
is male.
Wait, I need
It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
I don't agree with that. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. She wants to be called she. I'm going to call her she. I just have a problem with the message and the messenger.
So well, let's I'm going to do two things. I want to reiterate what Zoe said, which is the bifurcation of the courage to come forward after a lifetime as a male and a certain kind of a male, versus did she deserve this award? Listen, awards. What are award ceremonies except an opportunity to catch some eyes?
You should not get a courage award for being a transgender.
ESPN, well done, ABC. They did exactly what their job was, to attract eyes. They did it. That's what award ceremonies are for. But in terms of the science behind gender dysphoria, you're very familiar with that, Zoe.
Very familiar.
It's not about the chromosome. Excuse me, the chromosomes within our
both know
nuclei. Yeah, go ahead.
chromosomes don't necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender.
What?
With gender
identity. Go ahead. No, so
especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what are
no.
your genetics?
So let's stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, wait, to be fair, but
She's
you
threatening him.
But to be fair, you're actually being rude.
You're
no, and that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically a male is a male.
You just
someone
called
who's
me
biologically male is a male.
But Mr. Shapiro, you knew very well that saying that to Zoe would be egregiously insulting.
It's not a matter of insulting or inflammatory.
It
It's
is.
a fact.
No, well,
You're a male. Dr. Drew is a male.
Sir, you're right. Hey, on paper, what is a fact is a fact, and I can't deny that. But you knew that going in, that just saying that to Zoe would be aggressively insulting.
It's not a matter of aggressively insulting.
It is.
The entire discussion is whether we are embracing mental illness and delusion as a society. That's the entire discussion.
No. Race, place, and all that, what happened with the swastika. But you can't wear the Halloween costume you want unless no one finds it offensive.
Well, now the selectively offended get to run the rest of the country. I mean, this is what we are creating. We are creating a society of panty-waist fascists. What we are creating is a group of people who are oversensitive to everything and that are willing to call the cops as soon as they are offended. It's actually incredible, and it's a violation of the First Amendment, which you saw with a professor from the Mass Communications Department at Missouri telling reporters that they have no right to be there, and at Yale you have students shouting people down. If this is the climate that we're supposed to create, if this is supposed to create openness and tolerance on the campus, I'm missing the openness and tolerance in let's call the police if I'm mildly offended because my feelings have been hurt. I mean, this is creating a country of crazy people. How can you watch this and not go crazy and think that everyone who's involved in it is crazy in the first place?
It's like a rap.
Stand up here and say that you support abortion, you support government intervention, you support government intervention to make abortion illegal, which is designed to kill someone, and yet you can stand up here and say you don't want government intervention for guns, which are also designed to kill people.
Because guns are not designed to kill children. Guns are designed to kill bad guys if operated by a proper person. There's not an abortion in the world that doesn't end with the death of a baby.
Right.
The question in Hobby Lobby is whose freedom is being infringed upon. Employees' freedom is not infringed upon when they enter into a consensual relationship with an employer that includes certain types of health care.
Not consensual.
Of course it is. They can quit. Who is forcing them? Where is the gun? Where is the gun? Who is forcing them? Where is the chain? Who is locking them to their
Stop
desk?
with the gun language.
The reason that I use the gun language is because it is vitally important for people to understand that every government measure at the end of the day it must be compelled by force. That's what government measures are for. There is a vast difference, a huge difference in terms of personal liberty and freedom between the government compelling behavior and a company saying that we are not going to provide certain types of coverage, and if you don't like that, you can quit or buy your own coverage. There's a vast difference. The gun's the whole issue.
The question was about abortion, and I just wanted to know why exactly do you think a first trimester fetus has moral value?
Okay, so a first trimester fetus has moral value because whether you consider it a potential human life or a full-on human life, it has more value than just a cluster of cells. If left to its natural processes, it will grow into a baby. So the real question is, where do you draw the line? So you're going to draw the line at the heartbeat, because it's very hard to draw the line at the heartbeat. There are people who are adults who are alive because of a pacemaker, and they need some sort of outside force generating their heartbeat. Okay, are you going to do it based on brain function? Okay, well, what about people who are in a coma? Should we just kill them? Right? The problem is, anytime you draw any line other than the inception of the child, you end up drawing a false line that can also be applied to people who are adults. So either human life has intrinsic value or it doesn't. I think we both agree that adult human life has intrinsic value. Can we start from that premise?
I believe that sentience is what gives something moral value, not necessarily being a human alone.
Okay, so when you're asleep, can I stab you?
I'm still considered sentient when I'm asleep.
Okay, if you are in a coma from which you may awake, can I stab you?
Well then, no.
I got him.
Answer that because I have no interest in actually murdering you.
But that's still potential sentience, and it's still a potential.
I agree. It is potential sentience. You know what else is potential sentience? Being a fetus.
Wow. Ben Shapiro is a class man. But I'd like to know your views about it. Like, what are your views about abortion and transgenderism?
I like the way he, first of all, I like the way he speaks. Like, he just kinds of raps everything. Like, you can feel the difference between any other person speaking and he speaking. He just look at the speed and, you will know that, okay, Ben Shapiro is speaking. But yes, he said it on abortion. Okay, I agree that abortion should kind of not be there, because he's kind of right on his point that even if, like, even in the beginning, baby is, like, baby is started to, develop. So how can you kill a person? It's just like you cannot kill anybody, right? But if we see it on the other point, so it's also that mistakes, it might be happened by mistake.
Yeah.
But yes,
that is the main counter argument, that it is my body, my choice. So if I want to abort it, why shouldn't I be able to abort it? So
that's what the question is. But youngsters, if you are capable of making babies, then you should be capable of taking protection if you are not wanting a baby. So yes, that's right, that he's right at some point of time that okay, it should not happen. But yes, you can't be a murderer, you can't kill anybody. So yes, he's right at some point of time. But yes, if, like, of course a coin has two sides, positive and negative. So yes, we can't argue on that. And even the thing about what was the next topic? Transgender. So that that girl was asking him what are your opinion about men can be women and women can be men. Even there he just shut up that girl. She was just speechless after a point of time, and he was like, okay, now you got my point, if not then shut up and sit down. Because he even about transgender, he said that it's just a confusion of mind and a delusion, that no, if you are it's biological thing, you can't decide on your own that you want to be someone else if you are someone else. So I don't know anything about this, but yes, so I cannot have any judgment about this. But yeah, what are your opinions?
Like, this is getting a lot grown up in this world. Like, we are seeing a lot of transgender people out there, and people are like doing their sex changes, like men are become women. The main problem is like men are become women and then participating in women competitions, and because of that they are winning all the competitions, because of course they are powerful and they were men before, and now they can just go into that women competition and win those competitions. That is the main problem, and all the other things related to that are also happening. And like, they are like, the main thing was like the Caitlyn Jenner was getting that Courage Award. Courage Award is for someone like who has done a big army job, like fighting a tank and doing all those things. Like, people who are doing those things, and you are getting Courage Award for like just changing your gender and revealing it to the world. I think so that is not the Courage Award is built for. So that is absolutely wrong according to me also. And the thing is, the best part was when he shut those kids up, the way he was like that woman. So to that girl he was like, what is your age? She said like 22. So why aren't you 16? She was like, what? No, what can I say? And like that guy also, he was like, that if the person is in senses, you can kill that person if the person is not in its senses. So he's like, should I kill you when you are in sleep? He's like, no, but I am in senses. So should I kill you when you are coma? He's like, I don't know. So like, the answers he gives is so amazing, and he can just like kill everyone with his answers. And the thing is, his answer very fast. He does not take time to
answers.
Yeah, he does not take time to think. So that is why the other person is not able to prepare himself and not able to counter himself. And that is why you need time to like counter Ben Shapiro. So that is the kind of thing, and that was very, very fun to watch. I'd like to watch more and more videos of him. Do let us know that also in the comment section below. So do like, share and
subscribe to our channel.
Bye.